They're usually the elderly, the senile, and the Republicans. They just don't have a grasp on what's going on in the world. So these groups usually don't make good fantasy football players. I cannot ever remember one of those three groups even ever winning a championship. No, maybe. I could be wrong. Doesn't know. And if they did, they probably wouldn't get a trophy anyway, just because they were a Republican. But enough about that. I also believe that people that don't understand fantasy sports are just nimrods in general, because it makes it so much more exciting. You take a game that's already great and you just make it that much more awesome. Now you're saying, well, yeah, but then you got to keep track of this, No, in today's modern society, all you do is you click one button, you go to the website, and you keep track for you. You don't even have to keep track anymore. It makes the dumbness down. Now, what do? I write down stuff because I like to be surprised. Because then when I look on my thing Tuesday morning, surprise! I lost again! Yeah, we had a lot of that last year. 13 times to be exact. The only time I was shocked is when holy crap, I won. So I was actually shocked once last year. Now, it's not so bad, but then when you live with a person who happens to be the guy holding the camera that actually missed the playoffs by a tiebreaker, it gets tend to be unbearable. Oh, you lost again, huh? Yeah, well, I won. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Yeah, it makes you want to start charging rent. But anyways, what would be really funny is when you go head-to-head with this person and they beat you and then they mock you all week, is to say, ha 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 ha, you're not going to college no more, get a job. That would be funny. Now, this brings me all back, we're going full circle to our fantasy draft. Now, what made this fantasy draft memorable for me? I think that the first pick went to my son. He had difficult choices. He took Tom Brady over LaDainian Tomlinson. Was it the right choice? I think so. Why? Because if you go by the last 3 years' stats, Tom Brady's had more points in our scoring system than LaDainian Tomlinson. Smart pick. Now, that was a memorable one, is watching my son draft for the second year in a row, totally by himself. No help from me, except when I yelled for help, to who I thought he should take, he didn't, but we'll see. Time will tell. Also, another thing I took away from it was just the amount of alcohol that we can possibly drink is quite a lot, and my dog's ass is in the way. Okay, that was, ladies and gentlemen, that was my dog's ass. Okay, now, what else did I take away from that draft was the ability for us to drink a lot. I also took away that there wasn't as much shots as going through. I had 7 bottles of liquor. I still have 3. What were you people doing? Shots. More shots. I have 3 bottles of pucker here. I have no idea what I'm going to do with. Hello, people. You going to make me drink it? Now, what else did I take from the draft? Dan. What a guy. Very nice guy. Very quiet. Dan goes drinky. Dan quiet no more. Dan actually proclaimed to be a doctor at one point. He also proclaimed to actually have a good fantasy team. What was he smoking? Has he looked at his fantasy team yet? Dan, sober up and look at that team. Not that good. What else did I take away from that? I took away that Angelo had probably the shittiest draft out of anybody. If you don't believe me, look at everybody's team and then look at Angelo's. Last year's guy that won the most points and most victories, I'm saying he's lucky if he's going to win 3 games this year. Now, anything else I took away from the fantasy thing would have been the Kelly's ability to drink a ton. That's always a given when the Kellys can drink a ton. They're my heroes, all 3 of them. Another thing I took away from the draft was Tony B's ability to be a cute kid, very quiet, loved him. He was awesome. Seeing everybody's wives again, that was really nice. Beth, I appreciate what you did for me in the bathroom. Thanks, hon. I also took away from the draft a case of the clap, so whoever I got that from, please fess up. I'm not sure if it was Jeff, Mike, Brian. Somebody come forward. I got it from one of you guys. I also took away from the draft just realizing how much that I appreciate hanging out with all my friends, having a good time, having some beers, ripping, just all around. It was a great time. So, in conclusion, I believe that this whole week of Brian's Minds have all sucked. And next week, I promise to do better. This has been Friday's edition of Brian's Mind, and next week I'll do them all on Wednesday.